Alright guys and girls, this is a long playing review for the A-Team on the AMSTRAD CPC, released by Zafiro Software in 1988. And yes, there was an A-Team game on the Amstrad. However, I should probably call it by the Spanish title of El Equipo A, because this was bizarrely a Spanish only release. And I have no idea how a relatively small company in Spain like Zafiro ended up with the license to make an official A-Team game, when something like that would have probably sold very well in the UK and other places. But they did, and I've been unable to find out how. Now I've tried to track down anyone involved in the game to talk to, but alas, to no avail. Anyway, I suppose I better quickly explain the A-Team to anyone under the age of 40, or indeed 30. But it was an incredibly successful American TV show that ran from 1983 to 1987, shown all around the world, and I remember it personally being on ITV on Saturday late afternoons or early evenings when I was very young, and I barely remember much about it, except that I remember hardly anyone actually getting shot or killed on it. Something to remember when we get into the game. Now the intro to every episode started something like this. In 1972, a crack commando unit was sent to prison by a military court for a crime they didn't commit. These men promptly escaped from a maximum security stockade to the Los Angeles underground. Today, still wanted by the government, they survive as soldiers of fortune. If you have a problem, if no one else can help, and if you can find them, maybe you can hire the A-Team. So yeah, there you go. It was mostly remembered for ex-Vietnam vets turned mercenaries not actually killing anyone and no blood being seen. So plenty of fistfights and lots of vehicles crashing and exploding, then people inexplicably walking away from them absolutely fine. And of course lots of dressing up in silly costumes and disguises, saving the day with makeshift weapons they made from household items. And of course there was that famous van, and of course we can't forget about Mr. T and how infamous he became and such a household name too. So what about this Amstrad game? Well, if you're expecting to play as B.A. Baracus, Murdoch, Hannibal or Face, as we see some nice digitised pictures on the loading screen to be fair, well, you're going to be disappointed. Indeed, there's no famous A-Team music on the title screen here. A missed trick, surely. Anyway, instead, you're playing as an unnamed soldier. Well, there's actually a troop of 4 of them, given that's the number of lives you have in the game. And it's your mission to safely guide the A-Team through 2 dangerous missions, which are separate loads on the tape or disc. The second section requires a password, which cleverly is generated at the end of the first mission and carries over the number of soldiers you have left. That's important. The first mission is in the fictional Moronia Desert, shooting Arab terrorists, oh, yikes, in an abandoned town. And the second one is in a military base in another fictional location of Tirania, yes really, where the A-Team is trying to stop an invasion of a neighbouring country. And that's it. Basically keep the A-Team alive to complete their mission. And as you can see guys, it's basically an Operation Wolf clone. And quite a dodgy one at that. There's an innocent civilian there running right to left here to avoid shooting. And every now and again a member of the A-Team will run across the screen. In this first section it's Mr. T. Or B.A. Baracus. He hasn't appeared just yet, I don't think. Ammunition pickups to shoot there. There's an innocent I just accidentally shot. Oops. Pretty terrible sound effects. The graphics actually are quite nice, they're not too bad. Bigger soldiers there, make sure you get rid of them as quickly as possible. Cans of Coke to shoot to increase your health there. Another one to shoot there. You've got the health bar far on. Oh, there's B.A. Baracus. We've got 2 of them appearing at once. We've got 2 Mr. T's. Yikes. Okay. And we have run out of ammunition, and we have to wait for a 1 bullet to appear in our stockpile. There we go, we can get some ammunition. And we just use a grenade there, or bomb, to blow up this, everything on the screen. Oh, we've got 2 cans of Coke. So what happens here, guys, is basically you don't get enough ammunition or supplies drop at all to properly get through all the enemies on the screen, and it becomes a kind of survival race. Can you survive and reach the next pickup that comes on screen just enough so you can reach the end of a particular section, because there's 2 sections per level before your energy runs out and all your lives are gone. I'm not using a grenade here because we've got an... Oh, anyway, there we go. We've got translation here. You have 3 team members left. Remaining left to remove 71 enemies, 15 vehicles. Good luck. Press a key to continue. So I will translate the Spanish to English here for you as well. Oh yes, there is a light gun version of this game for the Spanish-made light gun called the Gunstick. Now, I did try this in emulation using a mouse because the CPC EC emulator supports it, but the screen flashing was bloody awful and completely unwatchable. But annoyingly, there are still white flashes in the game, despite this not being the light gun version we're playing here. So, yeah, epilepsy warning that I probably should have mentioned before we started this, sorry. So we actually died there and lost a life. That's why that screen popped up there. So we didn't quite make it to the end of the first section, which we have now. You have arrived at the end of the village. You rearm and you return to the action. Right, there we go. So I did a Spanish translation there for you guys. So each level is split into 2, and we have 2 levels on 2 separate loads. Thank God it is split into 2 there, because there is absolutely no way you'd actually kill everyone with all the limited amount of ammunition you have. You have 2 clips of ammunition and 3 grenades, and it is nowhere near enough, and they don't drop enough supplies for you to get to anywhere near the end of the level. I got a bit lucky there and actually got 2 ammunition clips dropped there. By the way, if you shoot the dynamite that appears and there's like an ammunition pickup or a grenade pickup on the screen, you don't automatically get that picked up. It actually destroys it, unlike, say, Operation Wolf, where it actually gets collected. So watch out for that. And try and destroy enemies that are appearing in buildings. They will sit there and slowly drain energy off you much quicker than any enemies on the screen. So target them first, along with the bigger enemies that appear at the bottom of the screen. I tend to avoid the vehicles until the end of the level. So that's it, all the enemies have gone. You can see the counter bottom to the bottom middle right of the screen. Oh, lots of energy pickups there. That's very, very good. Don't kill Mr. T there. So don't use a grenade. If you kill Mr. T, you lose a life. Using up our grenades here. And we have completed the first mission. So we get a code for the second mission, and that will carry over our 2 lives to the next level, which is very, very important. So while we're just getting the next level loaded up, let's talk about the other versions just very quickly. So there are versions for the ZX Spectrum, MSX and PC-DOS. Now, the Speccy version was done by the same coder as the Amstrad, Javier Fafula, and runs quite a bit faster actually, and the crosshair moves slightly smoother, so you'd think this would be the winner. However, it's ruined by burning through ammunition much quicker, making it much more difficult. In fact, it's damn near impossible. I had hard enough time on the Amstrad version, so meh, you can argue amongst yourselves which is the better one, because I don't really care with this game. The Amstrad with its nicer graphics and being possible to complete, or the Speccy with the aforementioned reasons. You guys decide in the chat, in the comments. Now on the MSX, as expected, this is a ZX Spectrum port, and a bad one at that, which is somehow even slower and laggier than the Amstrad version. And this was also on the PC-DOS, and rather surprisingly, this also landed there, and is in glorious cyan, pink, black and white. I honestly don't know if I got this running correctly in DOSBox, if it's speed or whatever, and I didn't get any sound output either, so this may be unfair to judge, but it looks terrible and potentially the worst version. And the last thing to mention, there's a bizarre unofficial homebrew 18 game on the C64, and it's utterly garbage and makes these versions look good. And as we go on to the second and final mission here, and as you can see, our 2 lives are carried over here to the final mission. I should point out as well, during the entire series of the A-Team, the TV series, I looked this up on Wikipedia and IMDb, only 5 people died on screen, and this includes General Harlan Bull Fulbright, who was shot in the back by a hostile during an operation working together with the A-Team. The deaths of at least 3 more characters were left ambiguous, and here I think we have mowed down nearly like 300 soldiers and like about 50 vehicles. Yikes. So it's not really in keeping with the A-Team. As for the credits of this game, the coder was Javier Fafula. He did the specky port of Swiv to the Amstrad, which is perhaps his most well-known international game. Otherwise, in Spain, you might know him for his games Rex Hard for Mr. Chip, Frontiers for Zafiro, and Tour 91 for Toposoft. I think we're about to die here. Yes. You have 2 team members left. We have 155 enemies and 24 vehicles. Good luck, etc. And the graphics were done by Javier Cervera. Not a great deal of work on the Amstrad according to the CPC Power website. Just a few Spanish-only releases in Atrog, El Jugo de la Oca, and Sidereal War. And there's a couple of extra credits for supporting the project to Cesar Jimenez and Miguel Angel Villas. And Cesar often worked with Javier, who did the graphics on other games, the Amstrad. Well, there you go. And here on this second section, the A-Team member has changed to Howling Mad Murdoch, who we're protecting. And the innocent on this level is the guy there in the yellow hat, red jumper and blue trousers, waving his arms in the air. Do not shoot the civilians, otherwise you lose some valuable energy, which is represented by the green and red bars slowly draining away there. Right. So, yeah. My review. Obviously, normally I look for magazine reviews of the game, so obviously there's no magazine for me to look up here. Usually I go looking for the review in Amsterdam Action, etc., but this was only released in Spain, so I will just skip to mine. So, well, I mean, if you're absolutely desperate for another Operation Wolf clone, or you're a massive fan of the A-Team, you might get something out of this. I mean, graphically, it's fairly nice, but these on-rail shooters live or die on a smooth-moving and accurate crosshair, and this is horrible. The crosshair movement is dreadful. Oh, you have arrived at the end of the base, and you rearm and return to the action. Oh, there's Howling Mad Murdoch, as you can see on the screen there. Thankfully, he didn't die. The crosshair movement, guys, is absolutely dreadful. There's a horrible acceleration on it. Nowhere near as smooth as like the one on Operation Wolf. And I'm really struggling here. You've seen how well I can play Operation Wolf. We did a recent long playing review of that on the channel, and you see how well I can do on that. Compared to this, I'm really struggling. Oh, yeah, it's horrible. As is the scrolling, it's just pretty dodgy as well. I could ignore the scrolling. But then you but if I could target the enemies properly, but I can't, and then you add in the lag, which contributes to ammo being eaten up unnecessarily. Lastly, the crowning turd on top of all of that is the stingy distribution of ammo pickups or health or whatever. Aeons go by where you're on 0 ammo before a magazine pickup appears, and that's just poor game design. Just let me goddamn shoot things. And if I can't because I suck at aiming, that's where I should be punished, right? Not because I've used up all my ammo, right? That being said, it's not completely terrible, but it's a strange use of a license where famously in the TV show, no one gets shot or killed. Yet here, there's a total of at least 350 soldiers you have to shoot and kill, not including vehicles and innocent civilians you might mow down. I mean, you don't actually get to play as any of the A-Team. You merely just run around being a nuisance. Ah, dear. I think I'll give this a generous 5 out of 10, or more accurately, a 58% score. And here we go, guys. Right, we're just on the last bit here, destroying the last few vehicles. We have 3 rocket bombs left. I can't use it here because I might kill a civilian. 3 vehicles to go. Let's use a bomb. Get the ammo pickup just in case. Last one. There's Murdoch. And the famous A-Team van arrives. You have driven the A-Team to success once again. Hurrah. And a bit of a strange pause here. Okay. Well, at least we get to see the A-Team van. Presumably we have stopped the invasion of a neighbouring country by this evil terrorists or whatever. Oh, the A-Team van drives off at last. We get the same message. You have driven the A-Team to success once again. The A-Team logo appears there. Press A key to continue. And that's your lot. So, there we go, guys. A very strange use of the A-Team license. Just plopped onto a substandard Operation Wolf clone. Not the worst Operation Wolf clone I've seen and played on the Amstrad or any other systems, to be honest. But a strange one. Another A-Team game where you don't actually get to play as any members of the A-Team. And, yeah. And it's very, very strange. It only got given to a relatively small Spanish company and never made it out of Spain. This could have been quite a big license to go to the UK and even in the US. But hey, there you go. I cannot find out why it never made it out of Spain and Zafiro software. But thanks for watching, guys. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Cheers for watching, and see you all again very soon. Goodbye.
So thanks for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed that. If you did, please click a like below, leave a comment, and also subscribe if you haven't already. And over that way, there's another video for you to check out. Zafiro out.